What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Oscar De La Hoya. Al Haymon. Get this. De La Hoya states that any Al Haymon fighter is going to be a problem for making fights. Wow. Oscar De La Hoya isn't entirely confident that cross-promotion fights with premier boxing champions can be made through no fault of his own, the promoter said in a recent interview. The founder and head of Golden Boy Promotions expressed some frustration with the matchmaking process involved with some of his fighters, and he pinned the blame squarely on PBC's creator Al Haymon. De La Hoya promotes popular lightweight contenders Ryan Garcia and former 154-pound titleist Jaime Munguia, among others. Both Garcia and Munguia stand to be in great fights in their respective divisions, but some of their key opponents are aligned with the rival outfit PBC, which, like Golden Boy, has its own exclusive broadcasting partnership. Golden Boy has an output deal with DAZN, and PBC has separate ones with Showtime and Fox. Garcia has long been mentioned in tandem with Gervonta Tank Davis, the Baltimore puncher, who is backed by Haymon's PBC, while Munguia has been mentioned alongside with middleweight titleist Jermall Charlo, another Haymon client. In a recent Instagram Live, De La Hoya talked about making a mouth-watering matchup between Garcia and Davis, and he said the two fighters have cropped up again in the headlines recently as they both sent out tweets suggesting that actual negotiations to get them to face each other by the end of the year were ongoing. De La Hoya acknowledged that while he would try to make the best possible fights for the fighters, he said that his efforts are depending on Al Haymon. De La Hoya has repeatedly characterized Haymon as an obstructionist over the years, and most recently said Haymon was to blame for their inability to strike a deal for the Charlo and Munguia fight. Haymon, who famously do not speak to the media, used to work closely with De La Hoya years ago before they had a bitter falling out in 2014. He says, any Al Haymon guy is going to be a problem to make a fight because of Al Haymon. But I'm going to try to make the best fights possible. I bring you guys Dimitri Bivol versus Zurdo Ramirez. So that's going to be exciting. I'm working on Jaime Munguia, another one. Jaime Munguia wants to fight Jermall Charlo. Again, Al Haymon, it's sad because it's sad, I'm sure. Charlo wants to fight the very best. All these fighters want to fight the very best. But this is the truth. God honest truth. Those are the words of Oscar De La Hoya. Let me counterpunch. I feel that we have politics and everything, especially in boxing. Yeah, the PBC Fox Showtime side. Then we have the Golden Boy, the Zone side of things. And I think it's deeper than that, though. Yeah, they have problems. The fight has to be big enough for both sides to make money off of it. And it's got to probably be on one or the other, DAZN or PBC, because PBC are going to go the pay-per-view. But then again, we got Canelo on pay-per-view. So, it has to be up to Al Haymon to want to work with DAZN on the pay-per-view end to build a pay-per-view platform or some type of pay-per-view structure with DAZN, But then, DAZN, is worldwide, and a lot of people worldwide don't really necessarily want to pay for a pay-per-view when they're accustomed to paying month by month subscriptions to the service. So, but then they make an exception for Canelo. So the whole thing would have to be making an exception for a big fight like Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis. The only problem is both of these guys haven't really fought enough to be this big or be that big to want to invest money in for any network to go out of their comfort zone to make any fight that big with another person that's on another platform. They'll just assume, hey, fight someone over here. But like I said, it's deeper than that. Because you guys can remember back in 2013, 14, something like that, Oscar De La Hoya, along with Bob Arum, attempted to sue Al Heyman for putting fights on free TV. Yeah. People don't forget about that shit. You think Al Heyman forgot about Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum trying to sabotage and sue him because he was trying to put or bring back boxing on regular fucking television? Do you really think he's going to... Because a lot of times, you know what a person's about because they've tried. And you don't really have to trust a person. You just have to know what they do based on their track record. And based on Oscar De La Hoya, when they do come around with a fight or a potential fight, you think Al Heyman really cares? Because he could say, oh man, fuck them. I don't have to work with them. They tried to shut down the PBC once upon a time. If you guys can remember. And I'm like, why would you want to shut down boxing? It helps boxing overall. They wanted to do it because they were fucking greedy. And then Golden Boy lost all their clients to PBC. You guys remember that? Like Deontay Wilder and Danny Garcia, right? Them guys, they went over to PBC and Al Heyman. So Oscar De La Hoya, got jelly and tried to, put a lawsuit, and then Bob Arum tried that shit. See, these guys, they tried to shut down Al Heyman. And Al Heyman, you can say what you want about Al Heyman. Any guy will have a bad, if someone puts a bad taste in your mouth, you don't want to deal with them. And that's what's happening with Oscar. So, Oscar's sitting around, it's all his fault. It's all Al Heyman. Well, no, you were the one that tried to shut down free TV boxing. Okay, in which he had, I think, $1 billion budget or something to put on fights that we wanted to see for everywhere from Andy Garcia to Adrian Broner to, Keith Thurman, and all these guys were on this network, and this new, fresh network, and then people don't have to watch HBO Showtime to see it. They can watch free TV. You know what I mean? On Fox, PBC Fox, you can turn it on. There it is. If you got a digital box, you could watch a boxing match. That's how it used to be in the yesteryear. And then Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum tried that. They just showed their greed. They just showed they were some greedy mother suckers. Because they already knew, like, yo, these guys, if they succeed, they're going to bypass us. And the only thing that helped them out is Al Heyman did put some fights on pay-per-view. But back then, Floyd was still fighting. I believe he was still fighting. I don't know. Right? So, yeah, so that kind of balanced everything out. But people don't forget about the things you tried to do to them. So don't expect them to want to buddy or team up with you after the fact. But anyway, that's just food for thought. You guys tell me what you think about Oscar De La Hoya, blaming it on Al Heyman, saying that the PBC will be a problem, which they will. But at least you guys have a backstory. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!